job, what does a normal day look like for you?
Well, now as an investigator with the state auditor's office, it varies considerably. I could be checking on a complaint, conducting field interviews, reviewing records, drafting a prosecution report, or attending court. It varies considerably.
Okay. Did you always know that law enforcement and the criminal investigation path was for you?
Well, I thought it was because my father, he had been in it all his life, and my brother, once he got out of the service, he was working with the sheriff's department. I thought it was what I wanted to do, and I obtained a degree in criminal justice at USM, and thought that was the path I wanted to take.
What advice would you give someone who is looking to enter the criminal investigation field?
Well, you need to learn as much as you can about law and forensics, interview interrogation, report writing, court presentation, and regardless of how much schooling you get, you really don't know how things are done till you get out in the field and try it.
Okay. What challenges did you face along the way, and how did you overcome them?
My biggest challenge was the 14 weeks Mississippi Highway Patrol Academy. Then after graduation, I was assigned to a county that I had never been in before. I had to make that transition to learn, the area and what I was supposed to do. And then after 20 years as a uniformed state trooper, I was promoted to the Criminal Investigation Bureau, which was a big transition. I went from traffic enforcement to working, violent crimes and such, and that was a big step.
Okay, looking back on your career now, would you change anything about your path you took? For example, different schools, other jobs?
Well, I guess my biggest regret would be that I didn't either go in the military full time or either join the National Guard before I ever got on the Highway Patrol. I wish I had done that, but I hadn't. Both my brothers were in the National Guard. My father was in the Marine Corps. I just wish I had done it, but I didn't. And but I'm satisfied with the choice I made. Serving 28 years with the Highway Patrol and the last 10 years with the State Auditor's Office as an investigator.
A few questions. How did you first get started in the modeling? What was your first experience ever?
My sophomore year of high school, I was working for a prom and pageant dress store in my town, and my first experience was taking a couple of pictures for their store, and they ended up suggesting that I try a pageant that kind of connected me to more jobs and opportunities in the industry.
Okay, and was it a difficult decision choosing to follow your modeling dream rather than the traditional college education route, especially in a small town like Hattiesburg?
It was a really hard decision, and it still is it's still hard to deal with, and I'm still kind of questioning if it's the right route. Just knowing that seeing all of my friends go on to college and have that true college experience right after high school, but at the same time, these opportunities with modeling and traveling may not always be here. So I just have to keep telling myself that.
Okay, and what has been your biggest career accomplishment so far?
I think my biggest accomplishment, in my mind, it was my very first time to travel alone. I was 16, and I traveled to Miami for a shoot with a prom designer. of dresses that I had always loved and dresses that I had worn. So it was a really crazy experience actually being a part of his line and his new season. It was just something that I never thought I would ever be a part of.
Okay, awesome. And what are some challenges you've encountered along the way?
I think one challenge is kind of seeing the things that I may be missing out on while I'm away for a job, or if I need to stay home one night or that kind of thing. I think that's definitely a challenge, just kind of seeing the flip side of things.
And this question kind of connects, but what motivates you to stay on this path, even when you're sometimes questioning it?
I think what definitely motivates me is my desire to see the world, because most of the traveling that I've done so far has been through jobs, and so I always tell myself there's just so much world out there to see, and there's no telling what job may potentially come up that could bring me to some other country or some other crazy city that I've always wanted to see. So it kind of keeps me on the track and keeps me wanting to keep pushing and make it big.
Okay, and what's a piece of advice you would give to someone struggling to pick a career path or maybe following their dream?
Some advice that I would give is to, even though this does sound a little cliche, definitely find what makes you happy, because it's so easy to get worked up in what everyone else is expecting you to do. But I definitely think that if you find something that you're passionate about, don't let anyone else's opinions or expectations of what you should be doing interfere with what you love to do.